Well, how do we do this, Lutzy? How do we introduce...
I'd say it was a month ago. I can't even remember who said it to me, that someone said to me, look, there's this local Brisbane artist, I think is what you would describe to me as. Her name's CJ Hendry, and as you do these days, Instagram is the first place you can go, and someone said it's CJ_Hendry. And at that point, I'm thinking, how am I going to be interested in this? Like, it's like moderate interest levels.
Yeah.
And then I went and checked out the art, which I guess it's scribbling, it's sketching, essentially, of CJ taking a photo, essentially, of an object and then recreating that. But it's in the most incredibly real sketches you can imagine. It's like
CJ. Good morning, CJ. Well, we just met you. How do you describe your art?
It's photorealistic. You nailed it.
Photorealistic,
yes. You know what? Like, my skills, I'll be honest, are no better than anyone else is doing the same type of work as me. So I'm lucky I can do it, but there's other people who do it just as well. You've
got a piece which is a cue ball, an 8-ball.
Yes.
A snooker ball.
Snooker ball, yeah.
It looks like a black and white photograph of an 8-ball. It looks exact. I could not believe that was actually an art piece and not just a photograph.
I think my favourite would be the Penfolds bottle of wine.
You like that one, yeah.
It's like, to look at it, you'd think, you would swear, if you didn't know the circumstances, that you're looking at a photo.
But can I just say, there's a way better story about that Penfolds wine. So the other night, I still can't believe it. I was at home and it was on the shelf, and I somehow moved the shelf. Penfolds bottle, smash.
Floor,
gone.
Was it expensive?
Yes, it was expensive. And so my boyfriend and I dead set we were licking up the wine on the floor. Like, well, this is an expensive bottle of wine. We're going to make the most of it.
But the other point we should say at this point is that you've had no art training. This is a bit that baffles me. You've dabbled in things at uni. You tried a bit of architecture at some point. You were trying to go by the rules, and you realised that just wasn't working for you.
No, it wasn't. And I just rocked up, and I guess I learnt things from every area. Like, from architecture, I started using these pens. I was like, wow, these are good. And then...
What do you use when you... What's pens?
They're pens.
Like a Bic pen, not a Bic pen.
Yeah, so it's a brand called Unipen, and I use them through architecture. A lot of architects use them, and I draw with these pens, hundreds and thousands of these pens, and and then these pieces of paper, and that's what I learnt from architecture. And then finance, I wasn't too good at that either. That's pretty hopeless, so maybe I shouldn't even talk about that. Now I just draw, that's it. I don't do anything else.
That's your full-time job now?
What's your day?
12, 15 hour day.
You draw for 12 to 15?
Yeah, but look, I listen to audiobooks. I watch... Do you know that old school show called Murder, She Wrote?
Yes.
Yes, I watch Murder, She Wrote. Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
There's heaps better shows out there.
I know, but you know what? I love the thrill of figuring out who it is. Right. So I kind of watch... I just listen to the radio. I listen to music. Most of the time I'm listening to audiobooks. So just books.
Who are you drawing for?
Gwyneth Paltrow. You've done work with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes,
now tell us about Kanye. Did Kanye come here to Brisbane?
Yes, so Kanye he did an Australian tour, and his last leg was in Brisbane, and somehow I was fortunate enough to meet him at the entertainment centre just before he went on stage.
Did you hug him?
Big hugs. Oh, yeah? The biggest bear hug you've ever seen in your life. No, he was great, and not anything like I expected. I mean, Kanye's portrayed as this, this intense. Yeah. He's not great, not great at all, but he was extraordinary. He was lovely. He had a big smile. He's
what did you
humble.
Did you draw for him? What happened?
What? Kanye's humble?
Yes.
Murder, She Wrote? Kanye's humble? What's going on here?
What's going on?
So when you meet him, does he ask you to do art?
Yes.
What happens?
So what happened? I've been quite intrigued by this guy for many, many years. It's not just something that's just happened. And I love the fact that he's so intensely passionate about what he does. Yeah. No, I don't agree with everything he says.
Yeah.
But he's just got this...
I can't stay mad at him.
Yeah, look, you can't fault him for his
You respect his drive.
Exactly, and I love that. And I'm really inspired by him and how he goes about his business. And, so I, photoshopped. I got a mate to Photoshop his face onto a $100 bill. Yep. We printed it out. I printed that out. I crumpled it, and I drew a picture of a crumpled dollar bill with Kanye in the middle.
Yep.
It's kind of playing on his ego and his Kanye on a $100 bill. When is that ever going to happen? But,
how big's the piece of art you drew?
It's about a metre by 75 centimetres. So it's pretty. It's
a big
drawing. Type of size. Yeah, it's pretty solid.
And how long does that take you to do that?
Look, that one's quite intricate, like forging $100 bills. I don't know who the hell would want to do that, but goodness gracious me, it takes a a long time.
How long for an average piece? Like,
you know, in terms of hours, you know, they take many, many hours, but, you know, the big ones, the big crumpled bags took about 2 or 3 weeks each.
Right. Yep.
The Kanye piece took 7 days.
Wow.
Like every hour of everyday drawing. Yeah.
And how do you work out at the end of a piece that you go, this is worth that much money, or is that somebody else's job?
You know what? Pricing art, that's a whole nother... I don't even know. You know, I'm lucky that I'm working with people who know how that happens. Not everyone agrees with it. You know, I've had my fair share of criticism in regard to that, and you just cop it on the chin and get on with it.
Yeah.
Well, if a Kanye comes to you, what would he be... What are we talking? What's the
look, I don't think it matters who you're talking to. The price is the price.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Okay.
rude and inappropriate.
20 grand?
I don't know. Oh, it depends on how big it is.
We are talking that sort of potentially that kind of...
Yeah. You could sell a drawing and then go out and buy a car, is what we're talking about, if you wanted
if
to.
you wanted to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's high end. She's
cool.
Look, you guys are being very kind. I think you know what? That's all. I think that's all really cosmetic stuff. That, you know, it's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but you're not doing it.
It is cosmetic. At the end of the day, I get to draw 7 days a week.
Yeah, you're doing what you love.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Well,
you're very, very good at it. And if you haven't checked out CJ's work, CJ Hendry on Instagram.
Well, it's CJ_Hendry on Instagram. But I think Adam, on our Facebook right now, we've got the links and. Even if you're not into, you think you're not really into art,
you'll be impressed.
Do you know what?
It's incredibly impressive.
Yeah. I wasn't even into art. I still don't really know much about it.
Yeah.
Really? You know, so
that's great.
I've got my kids next door there. Can you go just give them your talent
absolutely.
as you're leaving?
Just touch them on the head or something. Share your brilliance.
Nova.